Hello.
Kutimalo, are we waiting for others to join, or what's the plan?
Many are joining still, so that's why I'm waiting. And the Govamar also has to join. Our alumni vice president. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wait for 5 more minutes. Yeah. Many are joining, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
Kutimalu, Gopalkumar join ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടേ. Start ചെയ്യാം.
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, so good evening one and all. I welcome everyone to this year's Arun Anish Memorial Award and Dr. Ruji Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship Ceremony organized by the Computer Science and Engineering Batch of 2000 and Mechanical Production of Engineering Batch of 2003 in coordination with SETCE Alumni Association.
To say about Arun Anish Memorial Award, it was instituted in fond memory of late Sri Arun and Sri Anish, two students of 2000 batch Computer Science and Engineering Department of this college, to promote academic excellence in undergraduate engineering courses. The award is given every year on the 15th of August to the toppers of all engineering branches in the 5th semester BTech degree examination. Now, about Dr. Ruji Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship is introduced this year onwards in loving memory of late Dr. Ruji Sharma, a former student of 2003 batch of Mechanical Production Department of our college. This scholarship is bestowed upon students who became the topper of their respective branches in their 3rd semester BTech degree examination.
Without further ado, let me welcome our respected Srimati Dr. Jayasudha JS. I welcome you, ma'am, for this function. I also take this opportunity to welcome Sri K.S. Gopakumar, Vice President, SCTC Alumni Association. Welcome, sir. I extend my warm greeting to all members of the Alumni Association and especially the batch of CS Department of 2000 and Mechanical Production batch of 2003. On behalf of the entire SCTC fraternity, I welcome you all. With immense pleasure and gratitude, let me welcome our beloved teaching faculties to this occasion. And finally, I welcome all my colleagues, friends, and parents to this evening. Welcome once again.
Now I call upon our principal, Srimati Dr. Jayasudha JS, to deliver the presidential address. Ma'am, please.
Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Respected deans, HODs, professors, my dear colleagues, and beloved alumni and students, good evening. We have gathered through online to participate the award-giving ceremony organized in memory of Arun Anish and also to inaugurate Dr. Ruji Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship. I was the staff advisor of Arun and Anish. I am remembering that tragic incident happened to my beloved students Arun and Anish on 15th August 1998. The former HOD of Computer Science Department, Professor Venkatesh Nair, and Professor Krishnamurti Iyer, who was the former HOD of Government Engineering College, Barton Hill, they have given inspiration and guidance to arrange such a memorial function and the award distribution ceremony. Their classmates are conducting Arun Anish Memorial Function from 2001 onwards by distributing the awards to the toppers of 5th semester in all branches. Now, most of their classmates are working in top positions in reputed multinational companies. In spite of their busy schedule, they are contributing to our students by arranging technical talks, donating books to library, helping the students to access cloud servers, etc. Dr. Ruji Sharma has graduated in the year 2003 in Mechanical Production Engineering branch, then completed MBA in 2006. She acquired her doctorate degree from France in 2012. She was working as a teaching faculty in a reputed university in UK. But unfortunately, she has taken to eternity on 5th July 2019. Dr. Ruji was an intelligent and very talented student. In order to cherish the good memories of Dr. Ruji Sharma, her parents and classmates have deposited amount to the bank for giving scholarship to the third semester toppers in all branches. Today, I spoke with her father. He is also presented in this meeting. He has expressed his willingness to extend this scholarship to the toppers of first semester and seventh semester students also. Many alumni are attending this memorial function through online. You can uplift the name of our institution by giving expert talks in the area of your interest, guiding our students to do projects, mini projects, internship, conducting training programs, etc. The interaction between industry and institution can be enhanced through our alumni, which helps in the growth of our institution. The campus recruitment in core companies has to be increased with your help by providing more opportunities to our students. The economic development of our nation is determined by competitiveness with knowledge power. It is powered by technology and innovation. The industries look for employees with specific skills who can fit directly into their system. The gap exists due to the relative difference in perspectives of education institutions and industries. There is a need to bridge the gap by sharing expertise of experienced employees in industry. Some students of our institution belong to poor family. They need the help of alumni to buy laptops or desktops for attending the online classes and do their projects. Interested alumni can contribute and help such students. I am expecting favorable response from alumni. Lord Almighty shall give peace and prosperity to everyone. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Light fades away darkness. Light symbolizes knowledge, wisdom, and free will. Now, let's watch the lamp lighting ceremony, which was conducted in our college today to solemnize the event. Next, I call upon Sri K.S. Gopakumar sir to speak a few words. Gopakumar sir.
ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഏറ്റവും ആരാധ്യയായ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ജെസു ടീച്ചർ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട അഗ്നിയുടെ ഭാരവാഹികൾ ശ്രീ കവലൻ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ശ്രീ കുട്ടിമാൾ.
Okay, you're not able to hear the sound. I'm able to hear. I will tell the teacher. Maybe uncle, it's a problem in you.
ഹലോ, ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ? ഹലോ ഹലോ,
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, clear ആണ്.
ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ?
Clear ആണ്, sir. Clear ആണ്.
അതെ. ആ, ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ശ്രീ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഏറ്റവും പ്രിയം നിറഞ്ഞ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ ശ്രീ ഹാലി, ശ്രീ ബാലഞ്ജിത്ത്, മറ്റ് പ്രിയം നിറഞ്ഞ സഹപാഠികളെ, ഈ ദിവസം എല്ലാ വർഷവും നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട അരുണിനെയും അനീഷിനെയും ഓർക്കുകയും നമ്മോടൊപ്പം ആ പ്രിയ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ ഇന്നും ഉണ്ട് എന്ന ഓർമ്മകൾ, അവരുടെ ഓർമ്മകൾ എന്നും നമ്മളിലേക്ക് മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് ഒരു കൈത്താങ്ങായി മാറുന്ന പ്രവർത്തനമാണ് സഹപാഠികളായ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ നാളിതുവരെയും ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതോടൊപ്പം പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സഹോദരി രുചി ശർമ്മ, ഈ മൂന്നാളുകളെയും എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ ക്യാമ്പസ് ലൈഫിന് പിരീഡിൽ തന്നെ ഈ മൂന്നാളുകളെയും എനിക്ക് പരിചയപ്പെടാനും അതിനേക്കാളേറെ ഞാൻ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് വന്നു കയറുമ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ സീനിയറായിരുന്ന അരുണും മനീഷിന്റെയും ആ ഉണ്ടായ സംഭവവും അതിനുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട ആ ക്യാമ്പസിലെ പ്രയാസത്തിലുമൊക്കെ പങ്കാളിയായി മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്ന സാഹചര്യം ഉണ്ടായി. എനിക്ക് ആ പ്രിയ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ ഇന്നും ഈ ദിവസം എല്ലാവരും ഒരുമിക്കുകയും ആ സഹോദരങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കുവാനും ഒക്കെയുള്ള ആ മനസ്സിനെ ഞാൻ എല്ലാ ഈ ചടങ്ങിലും സ്മരിക്കാറുണ്ട്. പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട രുചി ശർമ്മയുടെയും അരുണിന്റെയും മനീഷിന്റെയും ഓർമ്മകളിൽ ഞാനും പങ്കാളിയാവാൻ ഈ നിമിഷം അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം നാം ഒരു കൂട്ടായ്മയോടുകൂടി നേരത്തെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ബഹുമാനിയായ നമ്മുടെ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ എല്ലാ കാലഘട്ടങ്ങളിലും പല രൂപത്തിലും ക്യാമ്പസിലെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഈ സൗഹൃദ കൂട്ടായ്മ ഒരു കൈത്താങ്ങായി മാറാറുണ്ട്. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഈ വർഷം മുതൽ രുചി ശർമ്മയുടെയും സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ ടോപ്പ് പേഴ്സണൽ അവാർഡുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട ആ ഒരു കർത്തവ്യത്തിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ്. നമ്മെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം കാലങ്ങൾ എത്ര പോകുമ്പോഴും പല വിധത്തിലേക്കും പല രൂപത്തിലേക്കും രൂപവും ജീവിതവും ഒക്കെ മാറുകയും നമ്മൾ മാറ്റങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടാകുകയൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും വരും തലമുറയ്ക്കെല്ലാം എന്നും പ്രാധാന്യം നൽകുന്നത് മുൻപുള്ള ആളുകൾ എന്ത് ആണോ മാർഗദർശിയായി മാറുന്നു എന്ന ചോദ്യമാണ്. അവിടെയാണ് പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഞാൻ പലപ്പോഴും ആ ഹരിയുടെയും ബാലജിത്തിന്റെയും അടക്കമുള്ള ക്ലാസ്സിൽ അരുണിന്റെയും അനീഷിന്റെയും ഒക്കെ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ എന്നും ഇത്രയും സൗഹൃദത്തെയും ചുരുങ്ങിയ സമയം കൊണ്ടുണ്ടായ ആ ഒരു സൗഹൃദത്തെ സഹോദര ബന്ധമായി ഊട്ടിയുറപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇത്രയും അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി എന്തായാലും അരുണിനെയും അനീഷിനെയും എന്നും ഓർക്കാനുമുള്ള ആ ഒരു മനസ്സ്, അത് ഞങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാം നമുക്കെല്ലാം ഒരു മാതൃകയാണ്. വരുന്ന കുട്ടികൾക്കും ഒരു മാതൃകയാണ്. ഞാൻ ദീർഘമായി സംസാരിക്കുന്നില്ല. ഈ ചുരുങ്ങിയ സമയത്തിനിടയ്ക്ക് നമുക്ക് കോവിഡുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട സാഹചര്യം നമുക്ക് എല്ലാ വർഷവും ഒരുമിച്ച് ഒത്തുചേർന്നുകൊണ്ടുള്ള ഈ ദിനം നമുക്ക് ഒത്തുചേരാൻ സാധിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിലും നമുക്ക് വീണ്ടും നമ്മളെല്ലാം ആ ദിവസം രാവിലെ ഒത്തുചേരുന്ന എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം എനിക്ക് എല്ലാ വർഷവും ഞാൻ അത് രാവിലെ ആ ചടങ്ങിൽ എത്താൻ എനിക്ക് സാധിക്കാറുണ്ട്. ഇന്ന് പ്രത്യേക സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ എത്താൻ പറ്റാത്തതിൽ ഞാൻ ക്ഷമ കൂടി ചോദിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു. ഞാൻ എല്ലാ വർഷവും എത്തിച്ചേരുന്നതാണെങ്കിലും ഇന്നത്തെ ദിവസത്തെ എനിക്ക് രാവിലെ കവിലാൽ സാർ വിളിച്ചിരുന്നുവെങ്കിലും എത്തിച്ചേരാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞില്ല. ഇനിയും നമുക്ക് ഒത്തുചേർന്ന് അവരുടെ സ്മരണകൾ എന്നും നിലനിർത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് കൂടുതൽ കുട്ടികളെ സഹായിക്കാനും നമ്മുടെ ക്യാമ്പസിന്റെ ഉന്നതിക്ക് വേണ്ടി നമുക്ക് കൂട്ടായ്മയോടെ ഇവരുടെ സ്മരണകൾ നിലനിർത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാനും അവരുടെ മാതാപിതാക്കളോടുള്ള ആ പ്രയാസത്തിനും ദുഃഖത്തിനും അവരോടൊപ്പം കൈത്താങ്ങായി നമുക്ക് നിൽക്കാനും സാധിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് മുഴുവൻ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെയും ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എന്റെ വാക്കുകൾ നടത്തുന്നു.
Thank you, sir.
Now we have Naveen, one of our former students of 2000 batch CS, currently working as Senior Manager Program Management, IKEA, Netherlands. He will be sharing a few words about the Arun Anish Memorial Award. Please, sir.
Thank you. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ജയസ്ഥ മാം, അലൂമിനി വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് മിസ്റ്റർ ഗോപകുമാർ, ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ എല്ലാ തിരക്കുകളും മാറ്റിവെച്ച് നമ്മളോടൊപ്പം ഒത്തുകൂടാൻ ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേർന്ന എല്ലാ അധ്യാപകരും, എൻ്റെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കൂട്ടുകാരെ, എന്നിൽ നിക്ഷിപ്തമായിരിക്കുന്ന കർത്തവ്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഈ അവാർഡ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തതിനെ കുറിച്ച് രണ്ട് വാക്ക് സംസാരിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ഒരു വിഷമകരമായ ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. എന്നാലും ഞാൻ അത് ആ മെമ്മറീസിലൂടെ ഒന്ന് പോകാം. 1998 ഓഗസ്റ്റ് 15 നമ്മൾ ഒരു കൂട്ടം വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ടൂർ പോകാൻ തീരുമാനിക്കുകയും പാലരുവിയിലോട്ടാണ് പോയത്. അവിടെ നമ്മൾ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് തിരിച്ചു വരുന്ന വഴി കുളത്തൂപ്പുഴ നമ്മൾ വീണ്ടും സ്റ്റോപ്പ് ചെയ്തു. ഞങ്ങൾ 7 പേരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. നമ്മൾ അതിൽ കുറച്ചുപേര് വെള്ളത്തിലിറങ്ങുകയും അതിലിറങ്ങിയ 2 പേര് അവിടെ ദാരുണമായി മുങ്ങി മരിക്കുകയുമാണ് ഉണ്ടായത്. അത് 18-19 വയസ്സുള്ള ആ ഒരു മെന്റൽ ഫ്രെയിമില് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇൻസിഡന്റ് എങ്ങനെ അക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ളത് ഒരു വലിയ പ്രശ്നമായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോ കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി ഡിവാസ്റ്റേറ്റഡ്. നമ്മള് ഒരുപാട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു ഞങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ വന്നത്. ഹൗ വി വിൽ ഫേസ് അവർ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, നമ്മുടെ പേരൻസ്, അവരുടെ പേരൻസ് എങ്ങനെ ഫേസ് ചെയ്യും. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരു മെന്റൽ സ്റ്റേറ്റിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മളെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തത് ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി നമ്മുടെ അധ്യാപകരായിരുന്നു കോളേജിലെ. അതിൽക്കാട്ടി ഉപരി കൃഷ്ണൻകുട്ടി സാറ് നമ്മളെ ഒരുപാട് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്തു. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ആ ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ് റിക്കവറി പ്രോസസ്സ് ഒന്നുകൂടെ ഈസി ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ആയിരിക്കണം അന്ന് കൃഷ്ണൻകുട്ടി സാറ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ അടുത്ത് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഐഡിയ പറയുകയും ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു അവാർഡ് ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുകയും ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോ ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ ഐഡിയ സാർ പറഞ്ഞ സമയത്ത് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ അത് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പൊ എല്ലാവരും വളരെ പോസിറ്റീവായിട്ട് റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്തു. And as part of that, we collected money from everyone. അതിനെ നമ്മൾ ഡെപ്പോസിറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. എന്നിട്ട് അതിന്റെ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് എടുത്ത് എല്ലാ വർഷവും 5th സെമിസ്റ്ററിലെ ടോപ്പേഴ്സിന് കൊടുക്കാനാണ് അന്ന് തീരുമാനിച്ചിരുന്നത്. അതിന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ കൊളത്തൂപ്പുഴയില് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു അപകടം വേറൊരു കുട്ടികൾക്കും വരാതിരിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഒരു വാർണിംഗ് ബോർഡ് സ്ഥാപിക്കുക എന്നൊരു കാര്യം കൂടി അന്ന് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. അപ്പോ ഇന്നിപ്പോ ഞാൻ തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കുമ്പോൾ 22 വർഷമായി. 22 വർഷം ഈ പരിപാടി ഇതുപോലെ നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇതിനിടയിൽ ചെറിയ ചെറിയ ഫോർമാറ്റ് ചേഞ്ചസ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ തുടങ്ങിയത് 5 ബ്രാഞ്ചിൽ കൊടുക്കാനാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനുശേഷം കോളേജ് എക്സ്പാൻഡ് ആയി, കോളേജിൽ പുതിയ പുതിയ ബ്രാഞ്ചസ് വന്നു, കുട്ടികൾ കൂടി. അപ്പോൾ അതിനോട്ടെല്ലാം ഈ അവാർഡ് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ഇന്നിപ്പോ 2021 ഞാൻ നിന്ന് തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കുമ്പോൾ 22 വർഷം കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് വിതൗട്ട് എനി ബ്രേക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം നടക്കാൻ സഹായിച്ചത് അതിന് ഒരുപാട് പങ്ക് കോളേജിലെ അധ്യാപകർക്കുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ പേരെടുത്ത് പറയുന്നില്ല. ഞങ്ങളെ പഠിപ്പിച്ച ടീച്ചറുണ്ട്, ഷിമി ടീച്ചർ, ജയശ്വർ ടീച്ചർ, പിന്നെ നമ്മളെ വിട്ടുപോയ കൃഷ്ണൻകുട്ടി സാറ്, പ്രൊഫസർ വെങ്കടേഷ് നായർ സാറ്, പിന്നെ ഹോർമിസ് സാർ, ബേബി സാർ, അങ്ങനെ തുടങ്ങി ഒരുപാട് അധ്യാപകര് നമ്മളെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അതത് വർഷങ്ങളിൽ അവിടെ പഠിച്ച വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളും ഈ ഒരു പരിപാടി നല്ലതുപോലെ നടത്താനാക്കി ഒരുപാട് പ്രയത്നിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോ അതിനെല്ലാം ചുക്കാൻ പിടിക്കുന്നത് കുട്ടിമാളി ടീച്ചറാണ്. കുട്ടിമാളി ടീച്ചർ കൃഷ്ണൻകുട്ടി സാറിന്റെ മോളാണ്. നമുക്ക് അതിന്റെ ഒരു സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യം കൂടി കുട്ടിമാളി ടീച്ചറിനോടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ നമ്മൾ ഈ വഴിയിൽ, നാൾ വഴിയിൽ നമ്മൾ ഇതിനെ ഒരുപാട് ചേഞ്ചസ് വരുത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ ടീച്ചർ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ നമ്മൾ ചെറിയ ചെറിയ സഹായങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് കഴിയുന്ന രീതിയിൽ കോളേജിന് തിരിച്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അത് പുസ്തകത്തിന്റെ രൂപത്തിൽ ബുക്സ് കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരുന്നാലും അല്ലാത്ത അമ്യൂണിറ്റീസ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലായിരുന്നാലും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഫിനാൻഷ്യലി കുറച്ച് സപ്പോർട്ട് വേണ്ടവർക്ക് ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ സപ്പോർട്ട് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ കരിയർ ഗൈഡൻസ് ആയിട്ട് അതിന്റെ ഭാഗമായിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് ടോക്സ് അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള ചെറിയ ചെറിയ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഈ 22 വർഷത്തിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇനിയും ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാനും ഇതിനൊരു കൂട്ടായ്മ ഉണ്ടാക്കാനും ഇപ്പോ രുചി ശർമ്മയുടെ അവാർഡ് വന്നതുപോലെ തന്നെ മറ്റ് അവാർഡുകളും ഇതുപോലെ അനുബന്ധിച്ച് വരട്ടെ എന്നും ഇതിനൊരു നല്ല രീതിയിൽ നമുക്ക് മുന്നോട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ കഴിയട്ടെ എന്നും ഞാൻ ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. പിന്നെ എല്ലാ വർഷവും ഇതിന് ഞങ്ങൾ ആരെങ്കിലും ഒരാള് കോളേജിൽ ഉണ്ടാവും ഈ ഒരു ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ. നേരത്തെ ഗോപകുമാർ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ കോവിഡ് കാരണം ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു വലിയൊരു ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടാവില്ല എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു. പക്ഷെ എന്നിട്ടും അവിടുത്തെ അധ്യാപകർ ഇന്ന് അത് ചെയ്തപ്പോ it really touched. And thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, for the much awaited moment, that is to announce the toppers. The S5 topper of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, it is Abhinav SJ with an SGPA of 9.83. We should also give a loud applause. And next, we have the S5 topper of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, that is Suganya MV, with an SGPA of 9.83. Next, we have the S5 topper of Department of Electronics and Communication. We have Ajay Krishnan RM with an SGPA of 10. Next, the S5 top Mechanical Engineering. We have Abhinav SS with an SGPA of 10. Next, we have the S5 topper of Department of Mechanical Engineering Automobile, that is Manu MS with an SGPA of 9.57. Next, we have the S5 topper of Department of Mechanical Engineering Production. We have Adul RS with an SGPA of 9.87. Last but not the least, we have the S5 topper of Department of Biotechnology and Biochemical Engineering, Esvin James with an SGPA of 10. Congratulations to all the winners, and of course, a loud applause to all the S5 toppers.
I now invite Sri Shaju Cherian, Senior Technical Program Manager, Lucid Motors, USA, to speak a few words on the Krishnagurti Memorial Distinguished Faculty Award, instituted for the Best Faculty of the Year.
Thank you, Fahad. Respected Principal Dr. J. Sudha Teacher, Vice President of Alumni Association, and my dear friend K.S. Gopakumar, respected teachers and my dear friends. It's an honor and privilege for me to talk about our dear Krishnagurti sir. Professor S. Krishnagurti sir was a Director of Technical Education and was also the President of Computer Society of India Trivandrum chapter. He was a mentor and guide for many of us. He helped us in the college accreditation process. He helped us in organizing many events of landscape. I believe, it's still called landscape and it's conducting many events, maybe better than us. സാർ പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു കാര്യം എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഓർമ്മ വരികയാണ്. സാർ പറഞ്ഞു, ഞാൻ പൊതുപ്രവർത്തനം ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഒരിക്കലും പ്രതിഫലം ആഗ്രഹിക്കാറില്ല, അതുപോലെ ആയിരിക്കണം നിങ്ങളും. അത് ഞാൻ സാറിന്റെ ഈ ഫോട്ടോ കണ്ടപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ മനസ്സ് വരികയായിരുന്നു. To talk about Professor Krishnagurti Memorial Award, this award is instituted in the year 2011. It is conducted based on a poll by the final year students among the teachers of this college who have completed 10 years of service. Now to declare this year's much awaited award declaration. A drum roll, please. Professor S. Krishnagurti Memorial Distinguished Faculty Award for 2021 goes to Dr. Shimi Lawrence. I'm very glad that Shimi teacher is the recipient of this year's award. Shimi teacher, ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് S1S2 എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് മെക്കാനിക്സിൽ പഠിപ്പിച്ച ഡൈനാമിക്സും കൈനമാറ്റിക്സും എല്ലാം ഇപ്പോഴും ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്. ടീച്ചർ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ബാച്ചിലെ എല്ലാവരെയും കുറിച്ച് നന്നായി അറിയാം. എല്ലാവരുടെയും പേര് ഇപ്പോഴും ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് എനിക്ക് ഇപ്പോഴും ഒരു അത്ഭുതം തന്നെയാണ്. ഷിമി ടീച്ചർ ഞങ്ങളുടെ കൂടെ എല്ലാ ടൂറിനും വരും. അങ്ങനെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഷിമി മിസ്സിനെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ടൂർ മിസ് എന്നാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ വിളിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. ഇപ്പോഴും ടൂറിനൊക്കെ പോകുന്നുണ്ടോന്ന് അറിയില്ല. Now let me read out few comments by this year's final year students about Shimi teacher. One of the most caring teachers, a helping mind, helpfulness. She is a good faculty who is genuinely concerned about her students and does the best she can. I think raving words, Shimi teacher. Shimi ടീച്ചറിന് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി എന്റെ അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എന്റെ വാക്കുകൾ ചുരുക്കുന്നു. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you so much, sir. I invite Dr. Shimi Lawrence ma'am to deliver a few words.
വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇതിലെ പിള്ളേരെ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്തതായിട്ട്. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ ഓർക്കാം, എപ്പോഴും എന്നെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കാലത്ത് എന്നെ അന്വേഷിക്കുന്നത് എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ഇഷ്യൂ വരുമ്പോൾ ഉടനെ അങ്ങ് മെസ്സേജ് വരാ ചെയ്യണേ. അപ്പോ എന്തായാലും ആ ഒരു ഇപ്പൊ ഇതിന് മാത്രമേ എന്നെ അന്വേഷിക്കാറുള്ളൂ എന്ന് പലപ്പോഴും ഞാൻ ആലോചിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ കുറച്ചുപേരെ വിട്ടുപോയാലും പിന്നെയും നമ്മളോട് കോൺടാക്ട് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട് ഈ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വന്നതിന്. പക്ഷെ വളരെ ഇഷ്ടത്തോടെയാണ് ഈ കുട്ടികളുമായിട്ട് ഞാൻ മിങ്കിൾ ചെയ്യുന്നതും അതിനായിട്ട് റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും ചെയ്തു കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. വളരെ ഇഷ്ടത്തോടാണ്. പല ഓപ്പോസിഷൻ വന്നാലും ഞാൻ ഈ ചെയ്യുന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ച് കമന്റ് അടിച്ചാലും, പക്ഷെ പിള്ളേരുടെ കാര്യത്തിൽ ഞാനൊരു കുറവും വെക്കാറില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് എന്തോ ഒരു സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. നല്ല നവീൻ, താങ്ക് യു. വേറൊന്നും പറയാനില്ല.
നമ്മളെ കുറിച്ച് 2 വാക്ക് പറയാം ടീച്ചറെ. അപ്പൊ ടീച്ചറിന് ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയാൻ കാണും.
എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ച് ഈ അരുൺ അനീഷ് മെമ്മോറിയൽ അവാർഡ് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മ വരുന്നത് നിങ്ങളോട് ടൂർ വന്നതാ. പക്ഷെ S3 നിങ്ങളോട് ഞാൻ ടൂർ വന്ന് സന്തോഷത്തോടെ വന്നു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച അന്നത്തെ ബാച്ച് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ്റെ കൂടെ ഞാൻ പോയി. വെള്ളിയാഴ്ച വന്നിട്ട് ഇയാൾ പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി ഷാജു പോലെ ടൂർ ബീസ് തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. ഒരു ബാച്ച് ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം പോകും, അതിന്റെ അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച അടുത്ത ബാച്ചിനോട് പോകും. അപ്പൊ അന്ന് കല്യാണമൊന്നും കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പൊ വീട്ടിൽ പ്രശ്നമൊന്നും ഇല്ലാന്ന് പൊക്കോളാൻ പറയുക. അങ്ങനെ ഞാൻ ധൈര്യമായിട്ട് വന്നു. അന്ന് വന്നപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും പേരൻസ് കാണുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് എന്നെക്കാളും അയ്യോ ഇത് വളരെ കൊച്ചാണ്, ഇതിനോട് എങ്ങനെ പിള്ളേരെ വിടുന്നതെന്ന് ഒരു പേടിയുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ സീനിയർ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് പറഞ്ഞ കുഴപ്പമില്ല വിട്ടോളൂ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് എന്നെ നിങ്ങളുടെ കൂടെയൊക്കെ വിടുമായിരുന്നു, പ്രശ്നമില്ല. പിന്നെ അടുത്ത് നോക്കിയപ്പോഴത്തേക്കാ നിങ്ങൾ എന്നോട് S5 ആയപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും നിങ്ങൾ എന്നെ ടൂറിന് കൂടെ വിളിച്ചു. അന്നത്തെ ദിവസത്തെ എന്തോ ചെറിയ ഇഷ്യൂല് ഞാൻ അന്ന് വരുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു എന്നെ കൊണ്ടേ പോവുള്ളൂ. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ഞാൻ വരത്തില്ല. എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞ ശേഷം നവീന ഒരു ഫംഗ്ഷൻ നടന്നപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് വന്നത് അവര് പോയി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഭയങ്കര കരച്ചിലായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അതിനുശേഷം നിങ്ങൾ S6 പോയപ്പോ ഞാൻ ശരി ഞാൻ വരാന്നു. അങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങളോട് ഞാൻ S6 ബാംഗ്ലൂർ ടൂർ വന്നു. നമ്മൾ അടിച്ചു പൊളിച്ചാലും നിങ്ങൾ വൈകിട്ടാകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഭയങ്കര സങ്കടമായിരുന്നു. എനിക്കിപ്പോഴും നവീന് നമ്മുടെ അരുൺ എല്ലാരും ഒക്കെ ഇരുന്ന് കരയുമായിരുന്നു. ആ പറഞ്ഞ അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ആ ഒരു ഒരുമിച്ച് നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ഒരുമിച്ച് ആ ഒരു സങ്കടത്തിൽ തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ടൂർ പോയതും. തിരിച്ചു വന്നപ്പോ നമ്മൾ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ബെറ്റർ ആയി. ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട് നന്നായിട്ടത്. പക്ഷെ അതിന് ശേഷം എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങളെയാണ് ഇപ്പോഴും നിങ്ങളുടെ ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് എല്ലാവരുടെയൊക്കെ നമ്പർ ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്. എന്തായാലും എനിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട ഒരു ബാച്ചായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ ആദ്യം നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സിലെ പഠിപ്പിക്കാനും വന്നത്. അന്ന് ഏറ്റവും പാടുള്ള ഒരു ടോപ്പിക്കാണ് പഠിപ്പിച്ചത്. പക്ഷെ നിങ്ങൾ ആരും എന്നെ ചിരിക്കുകയോ കളിയാക്കുകയോ ഒന്നും ചെയ്തില്ല. എനിക്ക് നന്നായിട്ട് അത് പഠിപ്പിക്കാനും പറ്റും. നിങ്ങളുടെ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സിലാണ് ഞാൻ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. മെക്കാനിക്സ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്കും പേടിയുള്ള ഒരു സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ എന്തോ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ട് എല്ലാം കൂടെ വന്നു. ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോഴും പറയാറുണ്ട്, ഞാൻ അന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ പഠിപ്പിച്ച ഒരു ബാച്ചിന് അന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു 60 19 പേർക്ക് 50 ഫുൾ ഇന്റേണൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ വെറുതെ കൂട്ടിയതൊന്നുമല്ല, അത് അത്രയും വാങ്ങിച്ചവരായിരുന്നു നിങ്ങളുടെ ബാച്ച്. അപ്പൊ അതും എനിക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ഓർമ്മിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. ഇപ്പോഴും എല്ലാവരും കാണുമ്പോഴോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ എവിടെയെങ്കിലും ഫേസ്ബുക്കിലൊക്കെ കാണുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കൊക്കെ സംസാരിക്കാറുണ്ട്. ഫോട്ടോസ് എനിക്ക് ശരിക്കും മെമ്മറബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ക്ലാസ് റൂം നിങ്ങളുടെ അരുണും അനീഷും. അരുണാണെങ്കിൽ ഇച്ചിരി ഇംഗ്ലീഷും മലയാളവും ഒക്കെ കലർത്തിയ ഒരു സംസാരവും ഒരു റിസർവ്ഡ് ടൈപ്പ് ആയിരുന്നു. അനീഷ് പിന്നെ സംസാരിക്കത്തേ ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു, അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരാളായിരുന്നു. എങ്കിലും എല്ലാരും അറിയാമായിരുന്നു, നമ്മൾ നല്ല ക്ലോസ് ആയിരുന്നു. പിള്ളേര് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് എന്ന് തോന്നത്തില്ല, നല്ല ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് ആയിട്ടിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സന്തോഷമുള്ള ഒരു ബാച്ചാ. ഊർമിള ഒക്കെ, ശാന്തി, എല്ലാരും ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്.
Thank you so much, Miss.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable words.
Next, I invite Sri S. Vinod, Wing Commander, Indian Air Force, to speak to us about Dr. Ruji Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship. Sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good evening, all. I'll be just sharing a screen. Just bear with me for a moment, please.
Fahad, you can stop sharing.
Teacher, screen കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ? Can I just confirm?
Screen is visible. You can present.
Okay.
Presentation is, yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. Respected principal, college staff, students, my dear friends, alumni, staff. I feel privileged to be a part of this gathering tonight for honoring Ruji. Ruji was a student of our college. She did her completed her BTech from this college in mechanical production in the year 2003. After that, she pursued her MBA from Amrita School of Business, and then she completed her post-graduation in marketing and operations in the year 2006. Later, she worked in IBS Software as a senior business consultant. But a real passion for learning and teaching pulled her back to the field of academics, and she joined the KIT School of Management as an assistant professor in the year 2009. Her appetite to learn more made her register for a doctoral program in Neoma Business School, France. From there, she obtained a PhD in Business Model Innovation and Strategic Management. Subsequently, she joined as a senior lecturer in Business Analytics at Coventry University in UK. Unfortunately, in 2018, she was diagnosed with cancer, even though she put up a brave fight, and she left us on 5th of July 2019. Today, we are all gathered here to honor her by inaugurating the Dr. Ruchi Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship. This scholarship will be given, as already being mentioned by the principal, this scholarship will be given to the toppers of the third semester student of all branches. My heartiest congratulations to all the award winners this year. And henceforth, this award is going to be an annual program, like already we have discussed, and this will be conducted on the college alumni day, that is on 15th of every year. And I'm sure this will enlighten her memory forever in the field of education, considering her background. Before I conclude, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the college principal, the staff, and everyone who has helped us. A special mention to Kavilal sir and Kutimalu teacher, who helped us organize this program in between these pandemic times when we were really not in touch, but we were speaking to each other on phone and WhatsApp, and we could conduct the program in this way, considering the situation outside. My special thanks to Mr. Prasad, 2000 batch. He guided us a lot in understanding how this program happens for the Arun Anish Memorial Award also. So our sincere thanks from all 2003 mechanical batch, like how you guided us like true seniors, like how you were there for us when we required. Finally, I would like to thank parents of Ruchi who kindled this idea in us of starting the Dr. Ruchi Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship, and they were together with us in this journey. And thank you, uncle and auntie, so much. Thank you for being along with us and guiding us to finally make this happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your words, sir.
Thank you so much.
Hi, can we, screen share. Okay. Next, we have Srimati Rajita Karta, Product Owner at Sanofi, to speak about Dr. Ruchi Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship.
Hello everyone, I'm Rachita Karta, batch of 99-2003. Ruchi was my classmate and my dear friend, and I'm honored to be here to share my fondest memories of Choti. Back in 1999, it was not that common to bump into someone speaking Hindi in Papanam code. Being away from home, it was a pleasant surprise. We connected, and it was the start of a dear friendship. She could talk non-stop and easily made friends. What really stood out about her was her warmth and infectious laughter. Choti certainly knew how to get everyone together and was an enthusiastic participant for all class activities, be it Onam Pookalam or other class projects. I have cherished memories of overnight stays at her house, lots of chatting, and some studies during our engineering days. Choti was industrious and extremely intelligent, coupled with an innocence and a happy-go-lucky attitude. She was a brilliant scholar with great zest for learning, so it was inevitable that she gravitated towards a teaching career, first in Bhubaneswar and then in Coventry Business School in UK. We stayed in touch on and off with plans to meet in Bangalore or US, but sadly none of that materialized. Every time I spoke to her, her childlike innocence transported me back to our college days. I'm happy that our class got together to initiate the Dr. Ruchi Sharma Memorial Endowment Scholarship. Choti's memories will be alive forever in our hearts. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we also have Dr. Ram Krishnan Sharma, Professor, Department of Aerospace Engineering, Karuna Institute of Technology and Sciences, Coimbatore, former Head Applied Mathematics Division, VSSC, former Head Applied VSSC.
Thank you very much. Respected Principal and Wing Commander Vinod and Mrs. Rajita. I'm so much happy today that this has happened, because we had only one child and we have lost her. So now our aim is, myself and my wife, to do as much, celebrate her achievements and her personality as much as possible. And this is one of the way to give some of our efforts towards this kind of this is one of the best way when she can be remembered. And this since she has passed 4 years and her career was made here. 4 years is that is one of the best time of one's career in engineering or whatever we study. And she made lot of friends. She was always a happy person, and we never put her any because being one child, and we never put any condition. I know sometimes she will try to help her friends and forget about her own preparation. It doesn't matter. But she had. I hope my voice is coming. Are you able to hear me? My voice is being
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
You can hear it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
reaching. Okay, thank you. So that was her, and of course, as you are told, that she had great passion for learning. So she immediately, because she spent 2 years in Coimbatore for her MBA, and then she wanted to come back to Trivandrum. So the moment she was offered the job in the IBS, she immediately filled a 2 lakh bond and then get into this. Even she was offered a job in VSSC, and she didn't join there. And later on, she joined teaching in Bhubaneswar, and from there she moved to France, and there only she worked very, very hard. We were afraid that she's such a small girl, and in that cold atmosphere. Rouen is a very cold place. It is above Paris, and it's very cold place. And when she went, within few days, she had to go to Paris in snow, but she managed. She was a very brave. She became very brave with time. And her guide said, his guide was doctorate from Cambridge. So she did management studies in one of the most modern areas, all this big data and Internet of Things and all those kind of things. From her thesis, 3 papers she published, and 3 are already cited around 50. In management, we can't write too many research papers like we can write in some areas. But those 3 papers are cited already more than 50 times. This is quite a good record. I asked management people in my university. They say, sir, it's very difficult. And they are all in very high quality research journals. Her guide also said she is very intelligent, and she was, in fact, he says she is likely to go very high positions. And even in Coventry, when we used to go there to meet her, her colleagues used to say, this girl is not going to stop here with like senior lecturership. Another 4 or 5 years, either these fellows will give her professorship or somebody else will take her, because she teaches those areas which are very difficult. Once she passed away, they had a problem with getting teachers. They recruited 2 teachers in for her to teach what she has introduced these subjects. But they were finding, it is very difficult what she has generated there. And so many friends she generated because she died there. And then we know the doctor, because in the end it was known that she cannot, because the cancer has entered in her liver, it was known that she cannot survive. So she was there in hospice. And the doctor who was there, every day so many people used to come to visit. The doctor used to say, it looks that you are having going to be fighting for some election, for some presidentship or something. So many candidates, so many people will come and meet you. So see, that is the kind of love and affection she had with her colleagues. She had around 109 faculties of management itself in her department. And almost everybody has, even then holidays were there, but even then everybody almost came to meet her. So thank you very much with these few words. And I only pray God that she lives happiness, because she was always a smiling person. She lives happy wherever she is there in the world, whether she got rebirth or wherever she is there. We just pray for that, and I will be very happy to contribute more for what principal madam said, for the first semester as well as the 7th semester also. We will be very, very glad, because she has spent her prime time in this university, this college, and whatever books are also there. Some of her books are in my house. Unfortunately, I am in Coimbatore because of COVID. We are not gone to Trivandrum for last 1.5 years, but so many books she is having there, and all the books which are there, we will like to gift to the college. And some of my books are also there, because I, being a mathematician, I am also having some books. Everything we want to give to them, and I would be very happy that whatever best I can do, even if some for the benefit, because I am a space scientist, and if any lecture is to be given for the benefit of students in the area of space dynamics, rockets, orbital thing, interplanetary space, or all those things which are modern, space debris, all these areas which I am specialist, I will be very glad to deliver the talks to the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now we shall announce the recipients of the scholarship. The topper of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, we have Akshay Anidan with an SGPA of 9.79. And let's clap at the end. Thank you. For the topper of Department of Electronics and Communication, we have Advait B with an SGPA of 9.89. For the Department of Mechanical Engineering, we have Ayush S. Nambia with an SGPA of 9.63. Now, for the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Automobile, we have Abhishek CD with an SGPA of 9.36. Now, for the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Production, we have Megha Narayanan AS with an SGPA of 9.59. Now, for the Department of Biotechnology and Biochemical Engineering, we have Vismaya S.J. Nair with an SGPA of 10. Let's give a loud applause to all the toppers.
Now, I invite Derek to deliver the vote.
Before the vote of thanks, I am just interrupting, Jyotika.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah. So we got a slight technical issue regarding the meeting. So meeting will be expiring by 8 p.m. So our technical talk will be conducted in another platform, and the meeting link is shared in the chat box. So all the students can make use of the technical talk link to join for the technical talk. I'll be sharing it once again. So please join there for the technical talk. Hope it is clear. Yes. So yeah, I have shared it in the chat box. So please make use of that technical talk link for the next session. Thank you.
Jayalakshmi.
First of all, I'd like to thank our Honorable Principal, Dr. Jayasudha JS, for giving us this wonderful opportunity, delivering the presidential address. Next, I'd like to thank Mr. K.S. Gopakumar, our Vice President of SETCA Alumni Association, for carrying out the felicitation. I'd also like to thank Sri Navi, Senior Manager Program Management IKEA, for sharing a few words about the Arun Anish Memorial Award. I'd like to congratulate Ms. Lawrence on winning the Christian Goody Award, and also like to thank her for speaking a few words about it. I'd also like to thank Sri Shadu Sharian, Senior Technical Programmer, Program Management of Lucid Motors, for telling us a few words about the Christian Goody Award. I'd like to thank Sri S. Vinod, Srimati Rajita Krishna, Dr. Ram Krishnan Sharma, for enlightening us about the Dr. Ruchi Sharma Memorial Endorsement Award. Last but not the least, I'd like to congratulate and thank all the S3 and F5 toppers who bagged the prestigious award and scholarships, and all the guests and parents for spending the valuable time with us.
Thank you, Jayalakshmi. So now we shall exit from this meeting and join in the new link, and we shall hear the tech talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
So those who are here can use the new link for the technical talk. It's in the chat.
Trends in automobile industry, engaged by Mr. Robinson, hardware architect, Robert Bosch, GmbH, and Mr. Richardson, senior engineering manager, analog devices. Looking forward to this exciting session, sir. I welcome you, sir, to take the mantle.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for this time and opportunity. Yeah, and wishing you all a happy Independence Day to begin with. So let me share my screen. Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Okay, so let me start with a short introduction of myself. So I am Robinson. I work as a hardware architect for Robert Bosch Engineering. So I work for electronics development for small control units, which are used in automotive exhaust gas systems. So this is a little brief about me. And Richardson.
Yeah, I can also give a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Richardson Jayapal, and I work in analog devices as an engineering manager. So my primary field of work is in designing chips, IC designs for various different disciplines. So primarily, I'm a large SoC digital design background. Thank you.
So now let's get into the topic. So before we go into the future trends, okay, so it will be good to understand the history from where the whole industry started, and it will help us to understand where we are heading. So the automotive industry as such, it started with only a mechanical based system. So which was the first early cars which came in. It had completely all things mechanical, from the engines to its control, everything. Then in later years came in the electrical systems like the starters and water cooling systems and all these things, which were a little bit electrical driven. And then we came into an era where both electrical and mechanical stuff are controlled with electronics. So this is where we had all the electronic control units and all these coming in. So if we look at it, so what drove all these changes? It was primarily because of all the technologies which were available at the times when these evolutions happened. So when the electrical systems were available, they tried to use it in a car. When electronics was available, they tried to use it in a car. And now, when we head into the future, we have to look at what is the technology that is available around us, so that we will know what we can expect in a car in a future days. So going further, so this is what I would like to give a brief glimpse about what we have as future trends. So here we will be looking at maybe a few terms and jargons which would be which is coming up as trends in the automotive industry. So we might not be going in a lot of details, so it will be a brief overview kind of a thing, only to give the topics and ideas whatever is going to come up in the industry as such. So we look at two aspects. So first one, in the vehicles itself. So the engine is transforming, so which is the powertrain. Then we have autonomous driving, which is coming up, connected cars, and then a lot of government regulations are coming in. So a little bit of that, and then market demand. So what we as people demand from a vehicle is also coming in. Then manufacturing. So even automobile manufacturing is evolving with the trends available around us. So we will also briefly look into that. Yeah. So when we look at the powertrain, so which is the heart of the engine, which propels the engine, the whole car, and helps us travel. So this mainly consists of the engine and the transmission and also the exhaust parts of it. So what we had so far were predominantly with diesel and petrol-driven engines so far. So now we are looking at a trend where things are changing to hybrid, battery electric, and fuel cell based systems. Why is there going to be a shift? So predominantly it is coming in from the government regulations where they talk about emission norms. Now, if you look at the graph on the side here, so we see the emission norms, what is there as limits for a two-wheeler vehicle. So we see the trend, it is drastically going down. Means this is going to impact the way in which the engine is designed, the way it is driven and all that. So this is just to give a brief idea of where we are going towards. And then also the other one, government is trying to incentivize newer technologies. So if we are going to buy in a battery operated vehicle, the government is offering us subsidies. At least in India, it is called the FAME 1, FAME 2. It has been there. It is there in all countries currently. And added on top of it, we have the higher fuel prices. Already petrol and diesel have touched the 100 rupee mark, and I do not know where it is going to go. So this is also a trend which will push for newer powertrain technologies. So let's go a little bit more in detail. So what each engine or what kind of powertrains we have, and what is the benefits and what is the demerits of all of these. So in a little overview. So when we look at the internal combustion engines, which is the predominant powertrain which we have in vehicles today. So we look at, they have a very long range. So we fill in a full tank of diesel or petrol and we travel 400 to 600 kilometers easily. And the refill time, it's extremely short. So we just refill and we just move on. We are not waiting for 6 hours or 8 hours for the vehicle to charge or something like this. But demerits of this system, we have a lot of moving parts. Okay, so for a consumer, yes, this is a bad news. But for us as engineers, this gives us more and more work to do. And we have a lot of complex control systems in the engine. So starting from how the engine is operated to all the parameters which are monitored and all that, this is a complex system. And we have an extreme short torque band. What does it mean as a torque band? This is the band or the RPM of the engine at which we have the best fuel efficiency and the power output. So this is extremely short in a combustion engine. And we will need a transmission to ensure that we operate the engine in its torque band, where we have the optimum performance from a vehicle. Else the engine will not be able to generate the required power, or we will be burning more fuel than we all need. So this is what we would have as a demerit here. Now, if we move on to the other technologies which are available now, like the electric engines. So this is shows a instant torque. So means what? From 0 RPM, from the initial start onwards, the torque which is available from the motors is the peak power we can get from the electrical engines. So here what we have extremely limited moving parts. It's just a motor, that's all, which is rotating. Most of the moving components have gone off. We don't have shafts and all these which are there in a regular combustion engine is gone. But the demerits what we have is like the power density that we will get in a battery is limited. Means what? I need to have a larger battery when we talk about larger range that we need to cover. And means we also have to wait for the charging. We cannot, it's not like I will go into a petrol bunk and I fill the petrol in 2 to 3 minutes and move on. No, we have to wait for it to charge. It could be half an hour, 45 minutes, or even 8 hours for a full charge. The other, since it has a full band of torque available at its entire RPM range, it doesn't need a transmission. We can directly connect it to the wheels and drive it. So now we have another technology also coming in, which is the hydrogen fuel cell engine. So this gives long range and shorter refill time, best of both, from the electric engine and from the combustion engine. And this also has limited moving parts. Here, smaller batteries are sufficient because the power generation is going to be happening in the fuel cells itself. We don't need a transmission because the end drive is going to be the motors themselves. But we need a complex control system here to control the fuel cell, its operations, so that it's in an optimum range. And the current demerit that we have is storage of hydrogen, and the pressure at which we have to store is posing a big threat. So if you look at what we could have in the future, we could have powertrain trends will be different for different vehicle segments. What does that mean? Means what? For small cars or small vehicles which we use inside the towns to move around, we could still live with a battery operated vehicle, because anyways, if we don't mind the vehicle being charging for longer times and all that, but we might be using it only for shorter distances. So this could be a trend which we could have for large trucks and all that. Maybe we could still be running with diesel, or we could go for hydrogen fuel cell. We could have these options which could come up based on the market segments which and its demands. So future, we are looking at multiple powertrains. This is what we could really see. So, what are the different types of electric vehicles? Because this is the big buzzword for today, or now what we are seeing. So, we have a full EV, which is only battery driven and nothing else. So here we have the famous Tesla Model S, which is a big example for this. Then we have a hybrid electric vehicle. So here the batteries are charged by the engine, means the engine can be of a smaller size. And the motors are connected, motors and the engine is both connected to the wheels. So they have a transmission which can take care of all that. So here we have a smaller battery which can help for the power boost whenever it is needed by the driver, so that even a smaller gasoline engine is sufficient here. So we have next one is called a plug-in hybrid vehicle, where the batteries can also be charged from an external source, like from a home charger or anywhere. But here also we have the gasoline engine and a motor for driving the wheels. Then we have something called a mild hybrid vehicle. So here, whenever there is no need of a gasoline or a diesel engine to be driving, when there is no high torque demand or anything like that, then the electric motor takes over. And the other times the gasoline engines or the diesel engines drive the vehicle. So this gives a benefit of longer range and all that. So when we talk about battery or electric vehicle, doesn't mean that it is always clean, because the source of electricity always matters. So either we burn gasoline or in the vehicle to make a movement, or gasoline or coal is burnt at some place, electricity is generated, and based on that vehicles are run. So we have to look at the source from which the power is derived for the vehicles. This is what is also being looked at for the future. Next, we have a famous, the most important trend which is coming up is the autonomous cars, where we just sit down and the car takes us to the places that we can go. Why is this coming up? This is something which is really important to understand before we look at why this is coming up in a big way. Because 94% of human error is the cause for accidents on a highway. This is one of the statistics. So now, then how do we overcome this? So then there are sensors which are installed in a vehicle which could assist the driver take more judged decision, or the vehicles take judged decisions on behalf of the driver. So this is what is autonomous driving all about. And based on the levels of automation that the vehicle can have, we have multiple levels of automation. So it can either be just assistance and with the driver in full control all the time, or parts of the vehicle movements are automated, like braking or some things like these are just automated. And the last stage we have is the full automation, where the vehicle drives by itself without the human interacting with it at all. So we have technologies which are driving it, because we have newer sensors which have come up, like LiDAR and radar, camera, ultrasound sensors, which are helping in the evolution of this autonomous car. So we have more processing electronics which are coming up, like the CPUs, GPUs. Initially, when they started, they had to fit a whole car, 3-4 seats full of equipments for it to take a compute and all that. Now it is just in a small box. This whole computation is being done. Means the CPU or the GPU or the processing algorithms have evolved over time. And we have artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, all these taking over, which are helping in making this moving forward also. So next we have something called connected cars. So in a vehicle we have connections which are running inside the vehicle, from the different sensors to the control units to the actuators, like for all these which are connected together. There are lots of interconnects which are running in the vehicle, like CAN bus or LIN bus, FlexRay bus. These are different kinds of connected networks which are available inside the vehicle. Now, what does a connected car mean? When I am able to connect the car over the internet to the outside world, this is what is the connected car all about. Now, so we look at connected cars, like for example, when we can have GPS or IoT or all these things which can help in telematics. What does that mean? It means that when someone is able to track the vehicle, this is helpful for people, like for example, if we have a chauffeur driven car or a driver is going to be driving it, we can track how the driving is going to be happening. And for insurance companies, it can help track how the drivers are driving it, so that the insurance premiums and other things can be calculated and all that. And also for roadside assistance in case of any accidents which are happening. And the most important one, or the convenience feature which is there, is the infotainment. Because people want to carry whatever they are having, like for example, the Android phones or the Apple phones with them, and then they want a continuity of what they are having in the vehicles also. So infotainment is also driven by the connectivity. So here we are looking at connectivity like 5G or a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, all these. And also we are looking at a wired connectivity like Ethernet inside the vehicle for different control units. So we can, in future, what we can have, maybe there can be features like how we have in a mobile phone. I can buy apps in a mobile phone. Similarly, in a car, I can buy new features or unlock them. Because it is already there, maybe I just need to do a software upgrade. Or we can look at maybe the manufacturer, they can use these features for having recalls of vehicles. In case there is any problems in a vehicle, they can recall a vehicle, or they can diagnose a car even when it is far away and request the driver to bring it in for a service or something like that. They don't have to wait for the car to break down. Or if there is a need, they can push software upgrades over the air for a vehicle. So all these are enabled because of connected cars. Now, we are going to be looking at the regulations and the market trends which are driving the change. So if you look at it, automotive sector contributes around 15% of carbon dioxide emissions. And there is always a demand from the nations to bring down this emissions. So then the government starts setting up targets for automotive sector also. So this is why we have this BS6 norms which are coming in, Euro 6, Euro 7 norms which are coming in, and they are also proposing scrappage of vehicles. Means the old vehicles are taken off the road and only newer vehicles are in the road. And they are now looking at complete carbon neutral. Means what? From the start of production of the car till I can break it down and recycle it, they want to have a complete carbon neutral methods. So they are looking at alternate materials which they are using, the production methods, the emissions from the vehicle. All these are being looked at. So this is what is the regulation and what it is creating as an impact in the sector. Now, the market demands are also changing. People are looking at mobility as a service. So if we look at Uber or Ola kind of services which are more prevalent now, people are thinking about investing in buying a car. So in cities, people are worried about parking. This is creating a major inconvenience. So they are looking at, okay, what can I do? Do I really need to take my car out if I have to go into the city? So, and if we look at, hey, I have my car which is sitting idle at home for a long time, then what do? Can I not rent it? Can I not make money out of it? I have already invested a huge amounts in it. So these all factors, plus the incentives which the government is offering for using the public transports and things like that, and also bicycle, bike sharing, and all these things coming up. So this is causing something called as a mobility as a service, so which is coming up. And here we are looking at a lot of things which are coming in together, which are enabled by the connected cars, and also with the different payment methods which are coming up here. So this is, and here two things which are taking predominance from when we look at the market demand. It is safety and convenience. So this is what is the demand or the drive from the market, or what people are expecting from any vehicles today. Okay, so far we had looked at the vehicles as such. So now let's look at the industry or the automotive industry as such. Because the manufacturing industry is also changing where we are producing the vehicles. So now we are looking at something called the Industry 4.0. So Industry 4.0 means what? So it means Internet of Things, where the instruments or the equipments and machines used in the industry are also connected to the internet, and they can communicate with the person operating it, and also with the companies can monitor them in a more close way. Okay, so these have also evolved with the industry has also evolved with the technologies which were available. So if you look at the first industrial revolutions, so it was with the steam power. Then came the electrical power, energy. So then we look at automation and computers, where we had robots and all that. Now we are looking at connected robots in Industry 4.0. So here, and then with the huge amounts of data which is available, companies are also able to streamline their production process and all that. And now they have something called a fault prediction. They can predict if the machine is going to go down or something like this, even before there is a line down. They can look for a quick maintenance before it goes down. So these are things which are from the industry. Now, is it just the industry which is changing? No. The materials which are used, the process which are involved in making of a car have also changed. So we look at newer materials like carbon fiber being used, adhesives being used for vehicles, 3D printing being used in vehicles, and a single car has multiple different types of materials. The engine has a different material, the roof has a different material, the doors have a different material, the strengthening structures have a different material. All these are different. And if you look at this graph here, it shows the trend of the old methods like spot welding is on a decline, and newer technologies like adhesives are going up. So the industry is also adapting to the change, the availability of newer technologies outside. So far, I'm just trying to give an overview of the different trends and all the big jargons which are coming up in the automotive sector. So now going forward, yeah, this Richardson, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Robin, for taking us through. So I think we kind of got a very wide view of where the automotive trends are today and where it is headed. So if you are an engineer looking for, which discipline you will work on, which kind of jobs, this is a slight peek view of where and what kind of tasks and work will be there. electrical engineers, as many of them are obvious motors and alternators. The DC-DC converters, high voltage systems are new work
who was the
where,
former
because
HOD
of
of
the EV vehicle revolution that is happening, there are new problems and exciting solutions are being explored.
Happy wherever she's
Electronics
there in the
engineers, so right from the sensors, everything is going to be automated, whether the driver is actually able to look on the road and drive as a 50% partial automated driver assistance system to 100% automated driver assistance systems. Similarly, the communication for the communication engineers, in general, there are a lot of communication that happens inside a car. For example, from a camera, rear view camera to the video display unit, or from the main dashboard to the engine, everywhere. But in general, going forward, given the pay-per-use model and an automated cars that is emerging, at least in the next 10 years or so, there a lot of research activity should happen between V2X. If you Google V2X, vehicle to external world communication, that's going to catch up a lot. Similarly, mechanical, as Robin covered a lot, adhesives are catching up. Similarly, how the thermal management needs to be done, how safety process like ASIL, BA are being used in cars will catch up, and it's already existing. For software, again, like as many cars become more automotive, it's almost like obvious that big data and machine language related processing will also catch up. Robin, maybe you can go to the next slide. So I just listed few of the items that you would be interested. Let's say if you are you may be on a final year and you're trying to get a new job, and probably you're wondering which one and what. I would say find a place where you can build a career and where you can invest in yourself. What I mean by that is, of course, there is which company pays you well is very important, but for the first 10 years, it's like building the roots of your career is more important than anything else. So this is something that I would recommend in a big way. Secondly, play to your strength. If you are good in coding, choose for jobs which are more software oriented. If you are always curious about looking at a PCB and how things work, look for jobs where there are system level play is there. And if you are more interested in hardware related work, look for areas where the chip design is involved in automotive. Automotive in general is very exciting. Any company today, whichever is listed either in America or in India, you will find that the automotive industry in general is very attractive proposition to any investor, because the products that the company sells is very sticky. It at least for the 5 to 7 years of sellability. So it's a niche field where once you get in, you can build a career easily. So that's something that I just wanted to let you know. When you compare with other industries like mobile phones or consumer industry, this is something which is very unique. Now, let's say you want to prepare for getting yourself selected to a company. I think there are many things that you may want to look at, like, okay, but some of the basic things are just learn your subjects that are being taught, and most of the that's what will be useful in the company and also in the interviews. You need to have a right attitude. it's one thing is that whether the company will select you or not. The other thing is what you can do, what you can offer to the company as a individual. That attitude you need to have. And aptitude is, I'm referring to some of the math skills and logical reasoning skills that you need to have. Robin, maybe you can go to the next slide. Okay, this will be our last slide. So, in general, what's your life will look like if you are in a company? Of course, as an engineer, the technical skill is the bread and butter. It's the base. So fine, but what are the attributes that I will be looked at for? Attention to detail. A lot of times we are hand wavy and we will be staying at the top. Okay, someone else will look at this detail. You shouldn't have that attitude. Just go look at more, pay more attention to detail of the job that you are working at. Stay curious and gain system level understanding. Only this can help you to get into problem solving domain. Look at a problem as a whole and have that curiosity and the urge to solve it at system level. And as in any career, I mean, what we are in is what we are looking at is a professional career. So it's not just in academic, people upgrade their skills. Even in engineering job, it's very, very pertinent that the skills needs to be constantly looked out and needs to be upgraded, and you need to stay up to date. Soft skills are very important these days, and it has really become an important need even as we work from home. If you are very good at on the above, but you're not good at articulation of what you think, either in a drawing or in a meeting, many of what your skills you have just goes wasted. So it's almost as important to develop a very good communication. It's not just about English or your own vernacular language that you need to be good at. It's about how you can express your thoughts in a flawless manner. That becomes very important. Next is team player. You got to be having a collaborative mindset to work with the team. You will find various different type of people, but without any hard feelings, or you need to be more assertive, build some of the skills of collaborative work mindset. These are extremely important even as people join as a zero experience to 6 months experience. It's really important. And as you grow, you can typically you build a career in two ways. You become a technical expert where you are really in depth. You file patents, you publish papers, and again your communication is really good. Or you become a people manager, people leader, a business or management, where you have a wider view of things. You are agile in the changing environment, and you also have very good people skills. So these are the rough idea of the career that you can grow. I think with this we'd like to stop, and I know there are only few students, and there are other people who are attending. Thanks a lot for attending this talk. In case you have questions, I think we can take up.
Prakash sir, I know you joined a little bit late. Thanks for joining, Prakash sir. I think there was some mess up with the links, because of which a lot of students didn't join. It might be good for having a separate session with the CG career guidance team for on the same topic. That's what I felt like. But if you are thinking about it, we can have it separately also. Any other students, anything you have any questions, you can put in your questions on the chat box. Malo?
Yeah. So Jyotika, any questions in the chat box?
Ma'am, I'm asking the students.
Hello? Yeah.
1 second, ma'am. Ma'am, I don't think there are questions, ma'am. Shall we wind up?
So I think, Patanjit, we can take it up with the CGPU for one more session. That would be better because most of the automobile students might not have joined the session. So I check with Prakash sir and we'll take it.
Yeah, thank you, Robin and Richie, for joining. Yeah, I know I reached out to you at the last moment, but thanks for taking time to prepare and join, sharing the session. Okay, and staying so far. Thanks everyone for staying so late in the night for the session also. And see you again.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful session. It has been a pleasure to host this event, and I thank each and every one of you once again for being a part of this ceremony. I wish you all a very good night. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.